I know the best thing that I'm doing is to keep doing this method. So I'm treating the root cause of the illness and I'm giving my body what it needs. There were chronic issues going on that I wasn't aware of that I do believe are a result of CO2 deficiency. And that for me, osteoporosis is something that I've become aware of in the last year or so. I had a spinal fracture last year, and I've had spinal fractures this year, and they have not been fun to recover from. Thank God I've still been able to work, but I just had some CAT scans done, and apparently this has been happening for a while. But my bone density is very low to the point where I'm fracturing easy.
Mm.
And both of the times that I was aware of were with strain, like from lifting,
Mm.
but not enough so that a normal person with normal bone density would break a bone. And Christopher talks about how when we're deficient in CO2, the body has to compensate. All these conditions are because the body's trying to keep us alive, trying to keep the pH in check, and it's doing things to do that. So one of the things it does is strip the calcium off the bones. So I know the best thing that I'm doing is to keep doing this method. So I'm treating the root cause of the illness and I'm giving my body what it needs. I'm determined to reverse the osteoporosis naturally. So hopefully in our next interview, I will tell you how my bone density is improved.
Mm.
I took a test, so I know what it is. I plan to take another test in a year.
Mm.
So I'm doing my Buteyko practice and doing the right types of exercises. Now I'm doing the sauna as you recommended. I haven't had the opportunity before, but now I have the opportunity to do sauna. So really doing all these things to try to help my body, desperations. Like I don't want to break another bone.
No.
I don't want to be disabled. There's been some repercussions from the last fractures. My back is quite kyphotic now. I've lost height. That's affected my appearance, my self-image. But mentally, you talk about the program and how it helps us mentally. I know that going through something like this, I'm going through it in a much different way than I would if I didn't have the Buteyko practice. I don't have the fear that I had before. I have practical fear in the sense, like, I know I need to be careful. I don't want to fall.
Mm.
So I make decisions based on that.
Don't want to twist an ankle or something like that.
Exactly. So I try to make intelligent decisions,
Mm.
but I'm not living in fear. I'm over 50, but I like to think of myself as still fairly young. And one of my orthopedic doctors said to me, you know, you're young enough to reverse this. And that was good to hear
Mm.
because a lot of elderly people have spinal compression fractures. And when they start falling and they have that, they start being very afraid and they start using the walker and they start hunching over and it exacerbates the problem. I try to walk in confidence. I try to stand up straight and just do what I can do and live my life. I pray not to fracture again, but if I do, I do. But I just, I do the method, I do the pauses. I know the more I can get CO2 into my body, into my spine, the better off I will be. I have the energy to do the exercises that I need to. So I keep going at the same time, not pushing too much. So there's this balance. But I feel so much more mentally able to deal with this reality in my life right now.
Yeah, it's a challenge. It's a big challenge.
It
Mm.
is. And I hope to be an example. I hope to be an example to other students learning Buteyko that, especially when you start the method older, we've accumulated more baggage, we have more toxins, we have more chronic conditions. Some we know about, some we don't. Some you just accept as this is part of life. There are things that went away using the Buteyko method that I didn't even really think could be connected to my breathing or carbon dioxide deficiency. you just kind of accept these things like sensitivity in my teeth or things that you're told are part of perimenopausal, like hot flashes. Once I started doing Buteyko, I had no more hot flashes. I also had rosacea, which is a condition of the face where it turns red, it flushes, certain trigger factors. I have no more rosacea. I used to get very, very tender sore breasts monthly. And again, I thought that was normal as a female condition. And I had a cleansing in Buteyko. I don't know exactly when, maybe after a year, but I had a cleansing where they were really, really sore for about a week. And then I haven't had sore breasts since. I also learned I had gallstones and some liver issues, but I believe those can get better too with the method. Not overnight, but it can get better with, what is it Christopher says? Steady, steady, persistent, persistence, steady, 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 steady. So that's what I try to do. Just keep on going.
Maintaining a high control pause is important because that's what's going to make the difference.
Yes, it is. There were things that went away using the Buteyko method that I didn't even really think could be connected to my breathing or carbon dioxide deficiency.